from that country. Privacy advocates are concerned those internet-connected toys allowing companies to collect data on children.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The ban on TikTok now extends to much of the Kansas government. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Carrie Worthen. On Wednesday, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signed an executive order banning the use of the social media platform on all state-owned devices for Kansas executive branch agencies, boards, and commissions and their respective employees. The order does not include employees in the Board of Regents institutions, or certain state offices. The ban is in response to the national security and privacy risk posed by TikTok, whose parent company is Chinese-owned. Oklahoma and several other states have already been enacted similar bans. Members of the House of Representatives and their staff will also no longer be able to use TikTok on electric devices managed by the House. Lawmakers and staff members who have the short-form video app on the House mobile device must uninstall it. Separately, the government is expected to soon ban TikTok from all federal devices. That change is part of legislation included in $1.7 trillion government funding bill awaiting President Biden's signature. The city of Caney, Kansas has lost pressure at the water tower. The city is requesting that residents check their meter pits to see if their leak indicator is spinning. If you're a resident of Caney and your indicator is spinning, please call City Hall. For more on the city's request, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. A new Missouri law concerning the homeless takes effect Sunday. The law will make it a crime for people to sleep, camp, or make long-term shelters on state-owned land without authorization. The measure also allows the Missouri Attorney General to sue local governments that don't enforce the law. Local governments that don't comply could lose state and federal funds for housing and homelessness. Now we're going to take a look at the forecast.
That we are, and it is still breezy, but as promised, these winds will begin to die down. I know it's hard to believe with how windy it is out there right now, but there's going to be a break. MoDOT camera, I-44 and range line looking pretty good. We got partly cloudy skies out there. The roads are now dry as they were wet this morning. That sunshine really making a difference. No rain on the Skywatch Storm Tracker at this hour. That'll change over the next few da's, but not today. 7th and range line, you can see again some of those partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will increase as the day goes on. We're normally 45. Well, we're well above that. In fact, we could be on track to tie or potentially break this record today for a record high. The good news is while we're not near our normal low, we're nowhere near breaking it. And if we were, boy, that would be one heck of a day, wouldn't it? Across the region, take a look at these temperatures. 65 Iola, 68 Fort Scott, 68 Lamar. We're sitting at 69 in Joplin and up to 70 in Miami right now. We're expected to make a high of 68, and as you can see, we're beginning to exceed that. So I don't think there's a complaint in the house that we're exceeding that, but look at this. The clouds will increase as the evening goes on. We're back down to 52 by 8 o'clock. There are going to be some cooler temperatures that are going to make their way in later this evening. We'll tell you why here in just a few minutes in your full forecast. Carrie?
The dramatic spread of COVID-19 in China is pushing the U.S. to introduce new rules for travelers from that country. Starting 1 week from today, anyone leaving China for the U.S. will have to test negative for COVID before getting on a plane. As Scott McFarland reports, the Biden administration is acting now because it's worried about cases rising and new variants emerging.
Hospitals in China are overwhelmed, pushed to the brink, and funeral processions are constant. The world's most populated nation is awash in COVID, and many areas are unprepared.
If you go to Beijing, they have so many good hospitals. But if you go to third-tier cities or like rural areas, it's total difference.
But at the same time, after months of protest and unrest, the Chinese government abruptly lifted its strict zero COVID restrictions, which had limited movement and the spread of the virus.
China has suddenly loosened up its restrictions left and right. And that's just provided an extraordinary opportunity for this virus to just, like a volcano, explode.
So, starting next week, the U.S. is joining a growing list of nations requiring people traveling from China to have tested negative for COVID within 48 hours of departure to be allowed through.
Ready for testing?
And the Centers for Disease Control announced it's expanding its COVID surveillance program at U.S. airports, in which passengers volunteer to undergo a nasal swab to better detect a new wave of cases. Health experts hope these new measures help.
No barrier is perfect, but putting up this barrier for testing is a prudent thing to do to try to keep potential new variants out of this country for as long as possible.
Doctors do warn that while there may be some benefit, it could be minimal. As we saw at the start of the pandemic, many restrictions failed to stop the spread of the virus and its variants. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in your first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, privacy advocates are concerned those internet-connected toys allowing companies to connect data on children. And later, we're making champagne dessert dip in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. If your kids have any smart toys under the tree, you'll want to hear this. Privacy advocates are concerned those internet-connected toys allowing companies to connect data on children. One study a few years ago found that by the time a child turns 13, more than 72 million data points have been collected on them. CBS's Anna Warner introduces us to one mom who missed the fine print.
Can I have some color?
New York mom Katie Taramiji bought what she thought was a cool toy for her daughter Aubrey a couple Christmases ago, something called a fuzzable friend.
You hit the button and it speaks in its own special language. Then you ask, "Hey Alexa, what did my fuzzable say?" And Alexa
says like it wants to play with toys or something.
It's the kind of fun a connected toy can make possible. But buried in the terms and conditions, which her mom says she never read, Creativity Inc., the company whose technology allowed the fuzzable to connect to Alexa, disclosed they collect anonymized information about their users and could generate transcripts of what children were saying.
I don't like it at all.
It's just one example of a growing trend, say nonprofit researchers at the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, or PIRG. Their recent report says smart toys bring new risks, including microphones and cameras paired with significant data collection. PIRG's R.J. Cross.
Having any data collected on a child that isn't strictly necessary is really reckless and unsafe.
Because often, she says, that data, although anonymized, is sold to advertisers, and she and other experts say it can be used to create profiles of children just like it can for adults. Even educational tech products can have privacy risks. When Human Rights Watch analyzed 163 educational computer learning products endorsed by 49 countries during the pandemic, 146 of them, some 90%, were found to have put at risk or directly violated children's privacy and other rights for purposes unrelated to their education. The Electronic Privacy Information Center, or EPIC, is calling on the Federal Trade Commission to strictly limit data collection on children.
It's just not really realistic for our parents, as you say, to be able to parse these legal documents, understand what's happening technologically.
The FTC declined to comment. Amazon told us the third-party Fuzzable Kids skill is not currently available for Alexa customers, so Alexa cannot interact with the Fuzzable Friends toy. The device is not built by Amazon and does not have Alexa built in. Taramiji says she'll be paying more attention to the fine print from now on, but doesn't think she should have to.
I should be able to trust the toy makers that are putting the toys on the market. You assume they're looking out for your child's best needs.
Anna Werner, CBS News, San Francisco.
The manufacturer of the Fuzzable Friends and the company that provided the connection to Alexa, Creativity Inc., did not respond to CBS News' requests for comment. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Need just the right something to help you ring in the new year? We've got it, and it's as sweet as it is easy.
And it is breezy now, but the winds will die down. Plus, we're going to take a look at your weekend forecast when we come back. Well, we have continued to see very windy conditions across the area, but as promised, those winds are going to start to die down across the area, which is something that's much needed. However, it's also getting a little bit warmer than initially anticipated. We got some pretty decent skies out there from our camera at 7th and Rangeline and from the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline. It's looking pretty good. I didn't see, let's go back real quick. I don't really see any lingering snow. Does anybody else see any snow? Carrie? Trevor? Okay, nobody sees any lingering snow. I think that's a good thing. Tim says no lingering snow. We like that. So here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. I don't see lingering snow on this either, nor do I see any rain at the moment, but that will change as time goes on. So again, that beautiful view at 7th and Rangeline. Got some few passing clouds out there. Now those clouds will increase as the day goes on, but before they do, we're going to be nice and toasty warm. Remember, our record high today, set back in 84, is 69. Well, we are at 69, and there's a slight chance we may go a degree warmer, so we're either going to tie or potentially break that record. Wind is still blowing, though. South-southwest at 23, gusting to 40 right now, and that, again, will die down. Take a look at temperatures across the region. In northeast Oklahoma, we've got 70s in Miami, Grove, and Jay, 67 Pittsburgh, 68 Lamar, 68 Chanute, an absolutely textbook spring-like day, and it's the end of December, so that just makes me wonder what's down the road. Well, we'll have to wait and see what's down the road, but for now, again, reaching 69, it's where we're at now, may even get a pinch warmer than that. Clouds will increase as the evening progresses, and if you are planning an evening out tonight, this is what we're going to get. The mostly cloudy skies. We're 56 at 7, 52, 50 by 9, 48 by 10 to see the temperatures begin to drop, 46 by 11. The clouds will be increasing, and take a look at these wind speeds. Aren't these lovely? The winds will be decreasing, but we have a weak cold front that's going to swing into the area, and it's going to make it a little bit cooler. So as we go overnight, you'd see the temperatures continue to fall. We're down to 40 for an overnight low, holding on to those mostly cloudy skies. Now, the 40s are our average highs, so even though that's chilly, we're still above average. The winds, as you can see, as we progress through the day, they start to die down, and eventually the gusts become much more manageable heading into the evening, and then they eventually, thankfully, just straight up go away. And I'm ready for them to be done because I'm tired of collecting my trash because the trash has been delayed from the snow and the holidays and everything else that's happened. I'm tired of it blowing all over the neighborhood. This is not good. Well, we have rain chances. Maybe a shower or two on New Year's Eve day. Shouldn't be a big deal. Monday, though, we've got a system coming in bringing us more widespread shower and thunderstorm chances. As you see, they could start somewhat early in the morning, and by early, I mean early by everybody else's standards, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Our standards for early in the morning is like 1 a.m. Anyway, they go on into the afternoon, and then those will clear out by Monday night, and then we're left with reasonable conditions yet again. Let's take a quick look at that 7-day forecast. 52 tomorrow, thanks to this weak cold front. 60 Saturday, 62 for New Year's Day, 64 on Monday with those storm chances, 55 by Tuesday, and then Wednesday, yeah, that looks really cold when you look at all those other temperatures, but Wednesday is actually normal for us. That's where we're supposed to be. Same with Thursday, but that means our lows get normal. They drop below freezing for a couple of nights, but take a look at the end of next week. We start to warm right back up again, back up into the 50s to near 60 by next Saturday. So we will be normal for a couple of days, and then we will go right back to abnormal again.
I can't get past today. 69
this is just
degrees.
Wild. Our chief engineer, Bill Vickery, and I, he was giving me some history of the station, and we walked outside to go look at some historic sites around the building, if you will, and he and I both were just taken aback by this. We're like, man, this is an absolutely beautiful day out here. It's just perfect weather.
But I do agree with you. Like, you wonder what is going to come in the following weeks.
Because we are still in winter.
Yes.
And these next several days are going to make us forget that, but we got to remember we are still in winter here in the 4 states.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4th state hero, Lieutenant Colonel Gene Salisbury, a member of the United States Army and Navy. He served from 1957 to 1959 in the Navy and 20 years in the Army Reserves in his hometown, Pittsburgh, Kansas. We thank you, our 4th state hero. Why not dip into something new for the new year? Howard shows us how to make champagne dessert dip in the Mystery Food Test Kitchen.
Where did the year go? It's hard to believe that New Year's Eve is right around the corner. Now, we know that many of you will be staying home instead of going out to celebrate. Maybe you're having a few friends over and counting down the new year with a celebration of your own. Whether you go big or do something more laid back, we've got a fun and festive dessert dip that'll help you ring in the new year. To whip this up, we combine a cup of dry white cake mix, straight out of the box, with some canned vanilla frosting and a good amount of pink champagne. We beat this together until it's light and fluffy. You see, the combo of the frosting and the cake mix is what gives our dip a fancy bakery taste. And the champagne, well, what's New Year's without a little bubbly? Now we put this in a bowl and top it with some golden white decorating sugar to add a little shimmer. Surround it with some fresh berries and ladyfingers for dipping, and you're all set. It may sound simple, and it is, but let me tell you, it'll be the talk of the dessert table. To get the recipe for our champagne dessert dip, simply check out our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a party-perfect way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Happy New Year.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, so we are looking for a very mild day today. Look at that, nearly 70 degrees. Weak cool front brings our temperatures down a bit. 40 tonight, 52 tomorrow, 60 on New Year's Eve day, 62 New Year's Day, 64 maybe some storms Monday, 55 Tuesday, and then cold but seasonable by next Wednesday, and 42.
I have no complaints about at all right now.
Considerably warmer than a week ago, huh?
Yes. All right, now what's coming up at 5?
Well, on at 5, for starters, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th assault on our Capitol drops its subpoena of former President Donald Trump. The committee notified the former president's attorney that it is no longer seeking documents and testimony due to the committee's work coming to an end. Plus, I'll look back at the biggest health stories of the nation in 2022 as monkeypox was declared a public health emergency, among a lot of other things. And the city of Joplin is looking for a team of employees to address declining neighborhoods. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Well, thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.